Proverbs 4 verse 1 to 27 through the Bible. Chapter 4. Part 1. Although the child is now a young man who has entered the big, bad, and mad world, he is still counseled to remember the instruction of his father. Hear, ye children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. Proverbs 4 verse 1. Ye children includes the young and the old, male and female. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my law. For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. Proverbs 4 verses 2 and 3. Solomon wrote this, and he is talking about his own father. Notice that he says, I was my father's son, tender and only beloved in the sight of my mother. There are those who feel that the father's heart was wrapped up in his boy Solomon. I don't see it like that. In my opinion, the historical books reveal that Solomon was not the first choice of his father. This boy, reared in the women's palace, was more or less of a sissy. I think he was a sort of playboy, and David did not have much in common with him. Solomon says, I am my father's son, but it was my mother who really loved me and taught me. However, he taught me also, and said unto me, Let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. Proverbs 4 verse 4. David probably gave him a great deal of advice. When Solomon was made king, David said to him, Play the man. I think he said that because he felt that Solomon was not manly. He said, Let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live. David had learned by experience that you had better obey the Lord. Probably David was not as kind in teaching his son as he could have been. I have never felt that David was a success as a father. Unfortunately, that has been true of a great many famous men. The life of David was something that Solomon could emulate. Perhaps you are saying, yes, but look what David did. Well, David's great sins were committed before Solomon was born, and David had turned from that type of life altogether. Now Solomon is giving advice to a young man, and he is really laying it on the line. Get wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee. Proverbs 4 verses 5 and 6. Wisdom is depicted as a lady who keeps a school and sends out her catalog. Remember that there is another woman, the stranger woman, who is also bidding for the interest of the young man. Wisdom is urging him to come to her school so that he might be wise. Notice that he says that wisdom will preserve and keep the young man. The great difference in contemporary educators is pinpointed in this verse. Do they love wisdom? In other words, do they love the Word of God? It was Pascal who said that human knowledge must be understood to be loved. But divine knowledge must be loved to be understood. So if you're going to understand the Word of God, you must bring to it love and a mind that is willing to be taught. Then the Spirit of God can open up the great truths to you. How important it is to see this. He says, Love her, and she shall keep thee. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting get understanding. Proverbs 4 verse 7. Notice the way he speaks of wisdom. It is not just knowledge. It is not simply having a computer mind. It is wisdom and intelligence to use knowledge properly and to have a love for it. That is something that the souls of men need today. The reason education is not satisfying is because of the way it is dished out. The most impressive thing here is that we are to get wisdom. How important it is. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. She shall give to thine head an ornament of grace. A crown of glory shall she deliver to thee. Proverbs 4 verses 8 and 9. The interesting thing here is that wisdom is to be loved like a woman is loved. When we get to the New Testament, this has changed. Christ has been made unto us wisdom, and we are to love him. The real difficulty in our day is not that there are problems in the Bible. The real difficulty is that in man there is not that love and longing for God and for the things of God. When love is present in the heart, this book will begin to open up because the Spirit of God will become the teacher.